going to do a review of Jersey Shore Family Vacation Season 4. They just posted Episode 10, The Return of Jenn. First, I must confess, I have over the past year just seen sporadic episodes of Jersey Shore. I was never a real follower. However, COVID-19 has given me plenty of time to watch the series and piece together the YouTube blurbs, so I think I've got the whole story. Jersey Shore started about 11 years ago, and now the cast is in their 30s. Vinny, the youngest, is 34, and Paulie D is age 40 and the oldest. Jenny is 35 and comes in after having had a few face trimming surgeries. A new JWoww. After a decade of treating women like disposable playthings, can these guys really become husbands and dads? During COVID, Paulie D rented out a deserted resort hotel in Las Vegas. He lives in Las Vegas. The occupants we know of include the cast members, spouses, one girlfriend, Dina's child, a number of lighting, sound, and video crew, a bunch of security, cleanup staff, kitchen staff, lifeguard, medical staff, technicians, producers, directors, and others. So this show provides a lot of jobs. First, I'm going to review Lauren, Mike's wife. I think she's great. She's a thinker. She has a great personality, and she's one of the main characters. She reminds me of Wendy in Peter Pan, where she's helping the lost boys. I love her character. I love her walk. She has the walk of a girl who took a lot of ballet classes. Her husband, Mike, the situation is staying the straight and narrow after release from prison for tax frauds. He said, I believe it was Vinny's uncle's prison connections that ensured he had non-eventful stay in the federal prison. I think both Mike and Lauren, as regular cast members, are great, essential, and they're getting paid regular cast salaries, I believe, which is a really good sum. Ron appears trimmer, happier, and he's doing well after clearing up his relationship mess, and he is single with a little girl. I love his head moves, facial expressions, and reactions. Vinny is still a stripper in Vegas, but I guess those shows are canceled because of COVID. He does a lot of clumsy cartwheels and rubs old wounds for his storyline. He's always referring to Mike's incarceration and his sex scene with Angelina 11 years ago. But Angelina, she's now married, and her husband works in the trash pickup industry. This is notable because it was a field for the mafia and mafia members, and I am sure Vinny's continued disrespect of Angelina will eventually cause a problem. This is especially true since Angelina exploded at her wedding when the female cast members disrespected her with jokes and calling her, among other things, trash. 10 months later, she is still furious and wants the show to pay for a wedding redo. In real life, Angelina works as an EMT and was awarded $350,000 after she complained about on-the-job sexual harassment. I know Angelina's husband, Chris, is a real nice guy, and he enjoys the pay that the show provides to the couple. But will he tell Vinny enough with the disrespect and sexual innuendos? Same is true with Mike. The incarceration enjoys jokes, but these jokes may sour with Lauren, his wife, and Mike's plans to become a father. Will this leave Vinny without a storyline? The stripper thing is lame because Vinny has no skills. He just pretends to take a shower on stage. He has no dancing or athletic skills, so it's not like seeing a Magic Mike show. DJ Paulie D now has a beard and a girlfriend, that he met on his first and second Chance at Love shows that were on to MTV. They stayed together during COVID in 2020. But is it real? They seemed compatible on the show. Vinny also identified a girlfriend during the Chance at Love MTV shows, but it was reported Vinny ghosted her. Periodically, Vinny refers to a girl named Maria, who was also on the dating show, but I don't feel he has any real connection with her. Vinny is happiest hanging around DJ Pauly D. Vinny has a serious depression anxiety disorder, which he has recognized from before ever coming on Jersey Shore. Vinny seems very happy when Pauly D refers to him as his side piece. Pauly, in an effort to help Vinny, even went through a bro wedding with Vinny, and they were always roommates during Jersey Shore shows. I just hope Vinny is in therapy. I don't know of any heterosexual man at that age that would be happy to act as Pauly D's wife on a TV reality show. But Vinny has a good heart, I think. Dina is with her husband and her child in the hotel. She is pregnant. The season so far mainly focused on Dina reconciling with Angelina after the Angelina wedding debacle 11 or more months ago. After a dramatized dinner meetup, the theme of which was for plotting for Dina to meet Pauly's girlfriend Nikki, all was forgiven and Angelina cheerfully met Dina's husband Chris and the child. Poor Chris. I think he was totally sick of hearing about his wife and Angelina beefing about Angelina's wedding and the aftermath. How much can a man take? Finally, to celebrate the reconciliation, all, except for Jenny, who was recovering from face surgery, went into an abandoned murky lagoon, and the TV show showed a dead fish floating in the water. Well, the men went in, played with the water toys, the slide and everything, we were jumping in. And I was fearful because you shouldn't swim in unkept, non-flowing waters because there is an amoebic parasite which might be in the water, and it will enter your nose when you jump into the water, go up your nose, and go into your brain, and it will eat your brain. I hope that the boys, or should I say the men, will be all right. They had a very boring dinner of many kinds of pizza that night. It looked like Paulie and his girlfriend only ate salad. Ron told Angelina that Jenny was on her way. Her boyfriend, whose name we don't know, but they call him 24, I guess by now he's 25, was not invited. Although she is only staying 2 days, she had at least 2 suitcases. The men went downstairs to meet her, but just sat as she pulled her luggage out of the limousine and into the hotel. She was surrounded by the men and was informed that everybody was having a great time and that she should not create a problem. She said she could interact with everybody and not act out or be combative. When Jenny entered the living room, all of the seats were taken. She eventually ended up on the couch in the middle. The episode ended with everybody coming to dinner. Other than Jenny, Angelina still has to reconcile with Snooki, who is not participating in this season. It seems after Angelina's wedding, Angelina's fans went online and claimed Snooki's clothing store had roaches. That caused Snooki to bring in an exterminator and change business locations. Well, from the sound of things, Snooki may not be willing to forgive and forget, but that will not be addressed this season since Snooki will not be on the show, and she is busy in her clothing store and fixing up houses. Vinny was being laughed at by the group as they sat in the living room about his knee deformities. He has a disease or syndrome which Vinny knows about. He was saying it was from inflammation and that the inflammation hardened and that's why he kept those knee deformities. It's called Osgood-Schlatter disease. It usually occurs in boys who are very active in sports and involved in a lot of running, jumping, bending, and so forth around the age of puberty when they're having their growth spurt. There's nothing you can do if you're an active person except for take pain medications and let everything resolve, just stop the activity. At Vinny's age, the only thing he could do would be have those bone spurs shaved down so that his knees would not have that bumpiness. Vinny didn't look very happy about having those guys laugh at him, but I'm sure he's laughing inside because Vinny, according to the internet, just bought a house that's around $3.5 million for himself. So I guess he's not too worried about those bone spurs. The other thing I thought was funny about the whole episode was that Ronnie was chosen to help mediate between Jenny and Angelina. Well, that's kind of funny to me because Ronnie doesn't have such a good history with interacting with females. For instance, when he was with Sammy Sweetheart, they had very bad fights, and one of the worst interactions I've ever seen, where he was just tore up the room and threw her stuff out, and I had never seen a person go through that. So he does have a rage disorder. And then when he was with his girlfriend Jenn, they had a very violent relationship, and I think I'm not sure, but I think she even tried to run him over. I mean, that's bizarre. So I don't know why in the world Ron would have been the person to act as the person to tell Angelina that, one, Jenny's coming, and that, two, she needs to be the bigger person and learn how to deal with Jenn so that they don't have an argument. I hope Ronnie has resolved his rage disorder, but I was just really surprised to see him as the person chosen to do this particular act. I'm going to be doing a regular podcast. I'd like you to say if you like this podcast, and if you do, I'm going to do some more. So look for me to redo other reviews, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.